Hello, welcome to this Unreal tutorial. I'm the Festmaster. Today we will be going over making a third-person 3D platformer from the third-person template. Now, this is a blank third-person template, and if you just go and play, you'll notice that it doesn't feel like a platformer. The jumps are really long and floaty. You have a lot of camera control. It just does not feel like a traditional platformer. And so we'll be going over how to change this to make it more like a platformer. The first thing you will need to do is open up the third-person BP Blueprints folder and open your third-person character. Now in here, we're going to change some of the stuff in the character movement component. Now, I found these numbers by trial and error. They can be tweaked to make it exactly how you would like it. But I found that for the gravity scale under the general settings, 4 tends to work relatively well. And then under jumping and falling, 1300 works well for the jump Z velocity, and the air control to be 0.5. Now we can compile that and save it. And if we play this, we'll notice that we have a much more snappy jump. You fall a lot faster. It just feels more responsive. Now this is really nice. Basically, when you're doing a platformer, you want it to feel responsive to the player. But that's not all we can do for this. The second thing we're going to do is lock some of the movement controls. So if we go down here and get a tick event, and then grab a reference to our camera boom, and then under the camera boom, we need to disable under the camera settings, use inherit pitch. And then we're going to get the relative rotation, split that struct pin, and set the relative rotation. And again, split this struct pin. You want to plug the X and Y in, and then we can get control rotation, split that struct pin, and then off of the pitch, clamp angle. Now I have found that minus 50 to minus 10 works relatively well. And then just hook this up to the tick event. And then when we come in here, we'll notice that we can't change the camera more than this amount, though we have full around rotation. And this just makes it feel a little bit better. But let's just edit this map a little bit for the next part of quickly making this a better template for a platformer, adding a double jump. Now this method of adding a double jump that I'm going to be showing you is a cheap and easy way to do it. So if we just move down our whole jump event, we'll drag this jump off, hold B to create a branch. We'll actually need a couple of the 2 branches. And then off our tick event, we're actually going to hold S, make a sequence, and connect the sequence up. And we're going to want to connect the sequence to one of these branches and pressed to the other branch. And then we're going to get the character movement component and get is falling. That's what we want to get. And plug that into both conditions. Now, off of pressed, if is falling is false, we want to jump. If it's true, we want to hold O to create a do once. We're actually going to make 2 of these. And off of true, we'll plug this into the first do once, then create a sequence. The second pin of this sequence will go into the reset of the second do once. And then the other one goes into a launch character. And we'll want to override the z velocity and set the z to be whatever value we used for the jump. In this example I did 1300. And then off of the branch hook to tick. If it's false, we'll plug that into the second do once, and that completed goes into the reset. Now what this does, basically, when you jump, if you are already in the air, already jumping, it'll allow you to once launch the character, and then it will allow the tick to start passing through. If you are, so if you are no longer falling, it'll allow the tick to go through only once and reset this so that you can only double jump once, because once you perform your double jump flowing here, you will no longer be able to do this until you land. So if we compile this and hit play, you'll see that I can jump and then again, but I can continue to press space as much as I want, and it'll only double jump you once. So if I hop onto this box, you can see double jump all the way to the other one, even although a single jump won't. Now, as I said, this is a cheap and easy way of doing a double jump. And we will be continuing on with this in the next week. And so my video bugged after that, and so I guess I will redo it. Next week we're going to be doing some more things with the double jump and other ways of resetting it rather than landing. So we're going to make this less messy right now and have the ability to do that. So the first thing to do is create a custom event here and call this reset double jump. Okay, reset maybe I'll just compile first and see if that helps. There we go, reset double jump, and plug that into this reset instead of the one off of the tick. I may have rearranged this since the last time I had to. This is the second time doing this for me. And then we'll create another custom event and call this double jumped. And that'll be plugged into this reset. And we'll disconnect it from here. Here we'll call double jumped. And this will basically refers back to here, and then here we call reset double jumped. This allows us to not have as many wires running all over the place. It's basically identically the same code using custom events to pass it around. And so we can just have it visually simpler. The functionality is exactly the same, as you can see. Now, it may be the case that you want somebody to be able to jump 3 or 4 times. And so what you want then is a do n times. You can make one of these by holding N and clicking. And you'll want to use it instead of this do once. Like so. And you'll want to do the maximum number of jumps minus 1. So if you want the person to be able to jump 3 times, you want to input 2 here. And then, as you can see, I can jump 3 times. You can also go totally crazy with this and go like 50 and just start flying basically by continuously tapping space. But you will eventually end up running out once you hit that cap. But this is how you do more than just 2 jumps. But for this example, I'm just going to be sticking with a basic double jump. Next week, we will be continuing on with making the 3D platformer mechanics and setting this up to be more of a 3D platformer feeling thing. We will be doing wall running, wall jumps, and a sort of dash mechanic. And I will see you then. Thank you for watching.